What's up, Soul Tribe? It's your girl Dominique with Empathic Guidance, and I'm back with another video for you guys today. And today is our daily message, which I decided to make a divine conversation. Okay, so I asked Spirit, it feel like we've been touching on pretty much everything. What is it should I talk about today with the Soul Tribe? And I shuffled up one of the decks and I got Worth. And there's a beautiful picture of a tiger here, So I see that says just like laser beam focus, like spirit is wanting us to focus on our worth. And then I read the passage on here and it says, "You have been worthy to belong to love all along without any need to improve. In fact, you are love itself." So I feel like that's talking about us as a being, as a frequency, and just as a vessel, you know what I'm saying? Like we are a vessel of love, and the achievement that the frequency that we want to achieve is the frequency of love, which is the highest frequency. But it's all about finding that worth within yourself and realizing that you are worthy without any improvement, okay? So I feel like that's something that we all been kind of coming to terms with, to grips with, and everything else, because most of us that are on this journey, we've experienced pretty tumultuous situations, upheavals, breakups, bad ones, you know what I'm saying? Ones that were bad enough to be exemplified as a catalyst to help us change our lives and change our outlook on life rather than to change ourselves. And I feel like a lot of us, we misconstrue the lesson for, I gotta upgrade, I gotta glow up, I gotta this, I gotta that, I gotta go have surgery, there's improvements that's meant to be made in your life, but for your own benefit, not for the benefit of trying to attract love, okay? And I'm putting it on that focus because that's what the card is speaking about. It's talking about our knowledge of self-worth and the awareness of it, because at the bottom of the deck we got awakening. So again, a lot of you guys are starting to awaken to your worth and what it is that you just not gonna put up with when it comes down to love anymore. You finally starting to see the truth when it really comes to yourself, as far as what you deserve and what you don't, and knowing what it is that you don't have to put up with. Okay, not feeling guilty about knowing that, okay? Because a lot of people, they feel guilty when they reach a level of I want to say they have survivor's remorse, so to speak. You get what I'm saying? Survivor's guilt, whatever it is that you want to call it. But at the end of the day, it's like surviving toxicity, surviving abuse, surviving what could have caused PTSD, rising above that, knowing your worth, understanding that it's not about you having to tweak every single special aspect of yourself to be this, you know what I'm saying, like build a person, but for you to embrace fully about you what is different, what is a gift, what makes you lovable, and even what makes you difficult to love, and know that there's somebody out there that would be a piece of cake to. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to say, like, don't work on yourself as far as, your traumas and things that you need to heal and address, just to be in a better space for yourself so that you can also be pleasant to be around as well. But this is not feeling like you have to transform or morph into some perfect human being, with absolutely no flaws, but rather attracting those that will love you flaws and all, okay? So, yeah, today the conversation with the divine is going to be about worth. You know what I'm saying? And how we are awakening that within ourselves. How we are loving ourselves more, how we are being more accepting of the things that make us different and unique, and how we are not accepting less because of that, because of what society may deem perfect, rather than allowing who you truly are as a being and how authentic you are as a being to be considered your very own perfect. You're perfectly imperfect. So let's go ahead and see what else it is that Divine want to say about this. In fact, I'm going to pull from this too, just so we can deeper the understanding. Okay, so what is it that we are going to speak on when it comes down to worth, holy, divine, spirit, angels, ancestors, and spirit guides of the highest white light? Let's expand on worth, spirit. What are we touching on about worth with the collective today? And I got 33 minutes in my storage, so this video got to be within that family. Yeah. Okay, family came out in reverse because I definitely feel like it started here. It started within a home. It started within your family sector. All right, it started with your mom, your dad, your siblings, and how they saw you. First of all, you know, I do feel like we recognize ourselves better from other people's perspective, simply because it's like we feel like we don't see ourselves in the right light, you know, and so we trust the opinions of those that we love, you know, to mold us as human beings and who we should be in life. And that definitely starts with family and how your family saw you, and the things that your family told you about yourself. Okay, so it's like having to regain a sense of self-worth, you know, after a period of being judged. A lot of you guys have psychic ability, all right? And that's why Spirit is saying you have been worthy of love all along. It was all about who can see you for your true light, who can see you for who you truly are, and well-being. You know, who is going to be concerned for your well-being, who has your well-being and your best interest at heart. Okay, so we got psychic ability and well-being here. A lot of you guys separated from your family, and it seems to be because of the way that they might have made you feel a lack of worth. You get what I'm saying? And it could be because you're different. It could be because of your psychic abilities or certain spiritual abilities that you may have, you know, and may have had ever since you was a small child. Okay, a huge imagination out of this world, just a very old soul, and able to comprehend and talk at an early age and read at an early age and sing whole songs at an early age. I remember those was a couple of things about me. When I was 3 or 4 years old, people would make me perform all the time because it seemed grown. Like, wow, this tiny human being can remember a whole song and sing it out, and she not afraid to perform it in front of her family members and this and that. And they thought that was funny. They thought that was cute, you know, and everything else. But I also had a big imagination, and I had a imaginary friend named Thelma. You know what I'm saying? Now, as an adult, I wonder, was Thelma a spiritual guide? You know what I'm saying? But Thelma had to have everything I had: pancakes, orange juice, toys, everything. You know what I'm saying? She was a part of my everyday life until I got to an age where that wasn't acceptable anymore. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of you guys could have experienced that as children, you know, and it's like, if that was something that your family asked you to suppress, it could have been for your own well-being. It could have been because the things that you might have seen or noticed or even said, you know, for some of your family members, they didn't understand that. They might have interpreted that even as mental illness. Now, my family didn't think that, you know, but they did. I just got to an age where they like, look, man, we can't play along with you when it comes down to Thelma anymore. And so that was something that I ended up suppressing and not talking about anymore, because it's like, okay, we get too old for imaginary friends, and that's that. But as adults, hey, we got them again, and we call them spirit guides. They're not imaginary to us. We feel their presence. We see their light body. We hear the insight that they tell us, especially when we meditate and when we really hone in and listen. So at the end of the day, it's all about recentering yourself. A lot of you guys have built friendships that have replaced the relationship that you wanted with your family, the validation that you wanted from your family. And again, you should give yourself validation. I just want to say that. Like, don't go seeking that from anyone. You know what I'm saying? Like, learn to give yourself validation rather than to feel like you have to depend on external entities and energies to tell you, look, you're doing a good job. Look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself that. But at the end of the day, yes, a lot of you guys had to realize and rebuild and awaken y'all self-worth, because people that you guys have separated yourselves from, and everybody, it ain't your parents. Some people have bad relationships with their siblings, you know what I'm saying, and even their own kids. But at the end of the day, there's a need for you to balance that energy back out. That is a part of you breaking generational curses. You know what I'm saying? That is a part of you helping other people to see the light that they meant to shine within themselves. You know, even other family members that may be being told the same thing that you were being told. You know what I'm saying? That if they keep their head up in the clouds and they keep talking about this mystical, mythical stuff that don't nobody else understand, that other people are going to see you as crazy, or, you know, not knowing what you're talking about, or somebody that's just going to be a drifter, a wanderer, or just aimless in life. And it's like needing that confirmation from those that are of the same soul tribe to let you know, close that door, close that thought. That part of your life, 1111, was a karmic injustice. You know what I'm saying? Yet just yesterday we said your steps was ordered. And I chose something like this as the thumbnail. It's like being able to see the trees through the forest. When the forest is so thick that you can't even admire the beauty of the trees and the nature around you. But when that path clears up enough for you to be able to see everything in detail and it doesn't look so scary anymore, that's kind of like you dismantling all the things that you were programmed to think and or feel about yourself on the inside, and truly embracing who you are as a human being and appreciating that, and having those around you that appreciate and celebrate that. So I definitely feel like that's something that's, you know, coming into play, if it hasn't already recently, and you just expanding and expanding on that, like, okay, I like this feeling, I love, you know, accepting myself and not really caring, not putting too much energy into what other people have said about me, or what they think about me, or what they feel about me, and just understanding and accepting that not everybody is going to understand, you know, where you coming from, and they ain't meant to. You are not for everyone, you know, and sometimes you're not even for your own family. I mean, but at the end of the day, it's about resolving that in this lifetime. Understanding that you are the prize, especially in your own life. If you're not going to be cherished by anyone else, be cherished by yourself, and value those that cherish you. Instead of focusing and honing in on, you know, what may not be right and who doesn't accept you, cherish those that do. Because you can even see that it can be easy for blood to even turn their back on you, or to just dismantle your well-being with their judgment, and, you know, their negative opinions and the things that they say about you and to you, to kind of plant seeds in who you are when it came down to molding you as a human being. Let's further expand on this, spirit. Yeah, the Seven of Cups is in reverse. And I feel like that's been coming up a lot, guys. Hold on. That's been coming up a lot, guys, since right before the New Year's, because the veil has been lifted. And I feel like that was something that was done on purpose, because Spirit really didn't want us to take false individuals or those that try to feed us illusion and delusion into the new year. Like, that was strategically done so that we can see what it is that, you know what I'm saying? We can see clearly. It's like, who's a friend, who isn't. The Two of Wands. You've chosen a path here. That's what I'm getting. Because you realize that despite who was unable, and look at this, the Queen of Pentacles. I knew that this was going to come out. I wouldn't be surprised if the King of Pentacles does too. But at the end of the day, fellas, place yourself where it goes. You know, even though this is a queen coming out, if you're a guy that's watching this, this is about understanding your worth. And this is about also attracting a tribe that's going to understand your worth as well. That's not going to make you second guess yourself. That's not going to make you second guess your worth and how worthy you are of love, respect, appreciation, and just like celebration, being celebrated. It's like now you doing things for your own well-being, and because of that, you being rewarded with the greatness of authentic connections. You know what I'm saying? Not ones that are, again, where people are trying to benefit from you, where people are trying to just psych you out so that they can be nosy and just, stay in your life to see how things are going to transform, or whether you're going to fall flat on your face and fail. You moving away from people like that is what I'm seeing. With the Two of Wands in reverse, it's like you've chosen a path for yourself and you steadfast on it. And because of that, like, people don't even understand, like, the harvest that you're going to reap. And it's not just as it pertains to material gain. This is as it pertains to, like, self. You know what I'm saying? Like, regaining a sense of self, coming back to yourself. Coming back to who you are and who you were meant to be in this lifetime, and who you were training to be for lifetimes. With all of this green, I'm definitely getting prosperity, wealth, the Ace of Swords. Again, seeing things truly, having clarity, no longer being in this state of illusion, no longer being this person that's like chasing perfection within yourself, but understanding that you always been worth it, you always been worthy. And I'm definitely getting that from the weekend, the 10 of Swords. And yeah, you done had to pull 10 swords out your back to really truly see it. You've been betrayed by people over and over that have made you feel a lack of self-worth. But at the end of the day, it's like you also understand, like, the lesson in it all, the projection in it all, that these individuals will also hurt people. You know what I'm saying? And this could have been people that you truly pursued in order to try to help. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could have had a habit of doing that just to prove your worth in the world. It's like, okay, yeah, I can love the most wounded person and turn them into this and that. And it's like, you no longer doing that anymore. You understanding that your self-worth don't have to be proved. You are worthy. You don't have to take, like, I don't even want to say it like that, but I can understand how a lot of us can be drawn to, like, the underdog, the forgotten, the unloved. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with that. It's absolutely nothing wrong with that, because everybody needs love and there's somebody for everybody. Okay? But what I'm saying is that I feel like a lot of us, we do that with the intention of proving our worth and proving how much, we can love somebody to health. And in reality, it's like that hasn't had the best, that hasn't went over well when it comes down to our own well-being. And that's why a lot of us are in a phase in our life where we calling back our power from, like, all of these other fragmented beings that have in turn fragmented us. And we've done that just to prove our worthiness to love. Of love. You know what I'm saying? Like, we worthy of loving because, we can love the most wounded, broken, bitter human being back to life. And it's like, you don't have to put yourself through that agony anymore, because Spirit is saying you already are, you already have been, you are love. The embodiment of love. Okay? So it's all about seeing that for yourself is what I'm seeing here. And not allowing yourself to be a martyr just to prove that. You get what I'm saying? Oh, I am a good person. I bring all of this value and this and that. Yeah, but you leave with the lack of self-worth. Because this is attracting people, I want to say, yeah, people that have childhood wounds, but people that can't bring more than unrequited love to the situation, because these are people that haven't learned to love themselves. So that's the issue here. It's like attracting people that don't truly love themselves and inviting them into your life to love you. And then feeling a lack of self-worth because they were incapable of doing that. And being committed to, like, transforming yourself. Whether that's, like, oh, I got to make more money because they said I was too broke, or I got to get plastic surgery because they said my nose was too big, or I'm too fat, or I'm too skinny, you know what I'm saying? Or I don't dress provocatively enough, or, you know, I'm not trending enough, or I'm not freaky enough, or I'm not wholesome enough, or, you know, whatever it is. Whatever it is. I mean, and we've all been guilty. It's nothing that we have to be ashamed of. It's just waking up from that and facing a realization that you being who you are, you're not going to be for everybody. But most of all, don't take it personally. Because a lot of people that see love from a shallow place is because that's how they were taught to love. And it's a reflection of how they feel for themselves. They ashamed of what other people would think of them and how other people will see them. And so they project that energy onto you, and they make you obsess about how people see you and what people going to say about you. So then you start to look at your own authenticity like it's not worthy of love. Like you have to do all of this extra stuff just to be worthy of love. When in reality, the very person, the very essence of the individual that's making you feel unworthy of that, they don't even feel worthy. And for some of them, they want somebody to feel like that with. And for others of you, they don't even realize that they do that because it's such a deep programming on their end. And while you trying to decode the matrix, you don't have time to stay in that energy with people that choose to stay asleep to true potential because of shallow attributes. So this is learning your worth, learning when to move on, learning that it's not you every single time somebody rejects you. Learning that most times it's going to be them. That they're the reason why they're rejecting you. Because they have to be seen in a certain way or they won't feel worthy. Okay? So let's see why the Seven of Cups is here in reverse. And I'm hoping it's making sense. I feel like it's going to make sense to who it needs to make sense to. Yes, you're making peace with certain things. Okay? You're not stressing yourself out. I mean, y'all, I'm telling y'all, like a lot of you guys have self-destructed. I'm literally hearing that. Have self-destructed trying to please other people. No matter what that is. It's like, I'm going to try to be more fun because they said I was boring. And, you know, now it's like you could have picked up bad habits that you never had before. I'm going to starve myself because, you know, they said they like people that are more slim. Or I'm going to try not to eat as much. And now you missing nutrients. Your hair can't grow right. Your nails ain't growing right. It's like being in a rush to be somebody's perfect fit. When if you were their perfect fit, or if you are their perfect fit, they just blind to it. And sometimes you just have to learn to move on and understand, look, I know I'm the embodiment of love. So I'm sorry that's something you didn't recognize it, but it's probably because you haven't identified it within yourself. You haven't found your own self-worth, so that's why you want me to feel less worthy. And I feel like that's the realization you guys are coming to. Why is the Queen of Wheels here? Yeah, because you did the inner work. With occupation here, you guys are focusing on your own well-being. You're focusing on your inner work. You're focusing on heightening your psychic abilities. You're focusing on breaking generational curses. So this is you, you know, pretty much not instilling that worthlessness into the generations to come. Okay? Or making people feel like they have to make such great sacrifices of their well-being to be seen as perfect to other individuals. Why is the Ace of Swords here? Gaining that sense of clarity. Yeah, because you was in the dark. You were being misjudged. You were being misjudged. Okay? Certain people just not going to understand you. And for a lot of them, it's because they got their own shadows to deal with. Ten of Swords. And I keep getting that. I'm getting a lot of judgment. And for certain people, it's like the validation that you sought. It was like, man, some of you guys were working overtime to be like basically validated or being seen as perfect or worthy by those that you really wanted. And it's like you might have put in a lot of work and still got stabbed in the back, still got betrayed, still experienced a negative outcome. And this could have been relationships, connections, friendships, and family relationships that continue to trigger the same childhood wound until you finally looked at it, addressed it, and healed it. And awaken to the fact that you are worthy. And you might notice now that nobody can penetrate you. Like nobody's opinion can penetrate your confidence and self-worth at this point. And it's because you had to wake up. You had to wake up and you had to detach yourself from other people's opinions and clear your energy out and focus solely on your path. Okay? Page of Cups in reverse. Yeah. So we getting a wishing well in reverse. You had to dive deeper. Because it was deeper than just love and money. It was like, what is it that you truly, truly desire outside of all the materialism that we can wish for, all of the love, all of the shallow, meaningless things that we have on a list of things that we want, bucket list to do. You had to dive deeper on the emotional level of what is it that you truly need and want to make you happy as a human being. Now I feel like with you cutting loose the things that could only give you half of what you wanted, or again, just bringing unrequited situations, one-sided friendships, relationships, and all of that. With you letting go of that and facing a realization like, this is not what I want, okay? This is constantly triggering me, triggering my inner childhood wounds. Instead of you ignoring it, suppressing it, or trying to find other ways to go around it, you finally addressed it. And now I feel like you take into accountability that inner child and the happiness of that inner child. And it's like, whatever is not making me feel safe and secure, or my inner child protected, then I'm gonna take a step away from. And because of that, it's like spirit is granting you, and understand that a coin is anything valuable. So this can be valuable friendships, your wellness, the way you see yourself, you know what I'm saying, circles that are as strong as family bonds, or strengthening the family sector that you already have. Okay, but it's all about knowing, okay? Knowing your own self-worth, awakening to that, not feeling like you have to be anything different to be worth it. You have been worthy to belong to love all along without any need to improve. In fact, you are love itself. Okay, guys? So I hope this message helps somebody today. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Join the Soul Tribe, and I'll check you guys out on the next one. Peace.